Good morning. As the sun rises over Europe, millions are waking up to news of a weather event unlike anything seen in recent years. Today, we're tracking a major, multi-hazard weather event set to impact millions across Europe and Western Russia from November 9th to 18th. This isn't just a typical storm system. What's approaching is a complex, evolving threat that will unfold over 10 days, affecting everything from daily routines to national infrastructure. This isn't just one storm. It's a relentless series of powerful systems stretching from Ireland to the Caucasus. Each system brings its own set of hazards, and together, they form a chain reaction of extreme weather that will sweep across the continent. We're talking about torrential rains that could trigger flash floods, severe thunderstorms capable of producing damaging winds and hail, and the season's first major snowstorm, all fueled by unusual environmental conditions that meteorologists are still working to fully understand. The scale and variety of threats will strain infrastructure, disrupt transportation, and challenge daily life across many countries. Roads may become impassable, power outages are likely, and emergency services will be stretched to their limits. Each region faces unique dangers: flooding in the west, where rivers are already swollen from recent rains, severe storms in the south, with the potential for tornadoes and destructive winds, and blizzards in the east, where heavy snow and ice could paralyze entire cities and rural communities alike. Our goal is to break down what to expect, region by region, and explain why this is happening. We'll look at the science behind these patterns and what makes this event so extraordinary. Meteorologists are calling this a once-in-a-decade pattern, one that will be studied for years. The combination of atmospheric rivers, shifting jet streams, and record-breaking temperatures is creating a perfect storm scenario. We'll explore the science, the timeline, and the real-world impacts, from commutes to agriculture. Farmers are bracing for crop losses while city dwellers prepare for days of disruption. This is a developing story affecting a huge part of the globe, and staying informed is your best defense. We'll guide you through the latest updates, safety tips, and what you can do to prepare. Let's dive in. The driving force behind this extraordinary weather event. It all starts with a powerful, persistent low-pressure system, an immense atmospheric engine, anchored over the North Atlantic Ocean, churning day and night. This deep low-pressure system acts like a conveyor belt, relentlessly flinging a series of storms eastward toward Europe. For the next 10 days, it's expected to keep sending wave after wave of turbulent weather, making it feel as if the continent is under siege from the skies. Each storm front rides the jet stream, gathering strength as it crosses the ocean, and then unleashes its energy over land. This pattern is setting up a relentless parade of storms, with barely a break in between. But what's truly supercharging these storms is the unusually warm ocean water. The Atlantic, Mediterranean, and Baltic seas are all running up to 3 degrees Celsius above normal for this time of year, a significant anomaly that's adding extra fuel to the system. Warm seas mean more evaporation, and that means the air above the water is loaded with extra moisture and energy. This invisible vapor is the raw material for powerful storms, making them more intense and unpredictable. The result? Storms that are not only deeper and more organized, but also far wetter than the typical autumn systems we're used to seeing. These are storms with the potential to break records. That's why meteorologists are warning of extreme rainfall, damaging hail, and even heavy snow in places that rarely see it this early in the season. The impacts could be widespread and severe. Imagine a massive motor, fueled by the heat of the oceans, driving vast amounts of moisture across the continent. This is the engine behind the dramatic weather unfolding across Europe. As this moisture-laden air collides with cooler air masses in diverse landscapes, from mountains to plains to cities, it triggers a variety of severe weather events, each shaped by the local environment. Floods, hail, and snow. All these hazards are being generated by the same powerful, well-fueled system. The scale and variety of impacts are a direct result of this unique atmospheric setup. It's a textbook example of how excess ocean heat can amplify weather patterns, turning ordinary storms into extraordinary events that affect millions across an entire continent. To understand why storms are becoming more powerful and destructive, we need to look at the bigger picture, one that stretches from the atmosphere above us to the oceans that surround our continents. At the heart of this story is climate change. Human activities like burning fossil fuels and deforestation have released vast amounts of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, trapping heat and disrupting natural weather patterns. Europe is now warming at twice the global average. The surrounding seas are absorbing much of this excess heat, causing ocean temperatures to rise steadily. This isn't just a coincidence, it's a direct result of decades of global warming, and it's changing the very nature of our weather. Warmer air can hold more moisture, about 7% more for every degree Celsius of warming. This means that when storms form, they have access to much more water vapor, which leads to heavier rainfall and more intense downpours than we've seen in the past. As a result, storms today can unleash record-breaking amounts of rain, overwhelming rivers and drainage systems, and causing devastating floods that threaten homes, businesses, and entire communities. But it's not just about rain. The extra heat in the atmosphere acts like fuel for storms, making them more organized, more powerful, and able to last longer than before. That's why we're seeing not only heavier rainfall, but also stronger winds, more frequent lightning, and even larger, more damaging hailstones during severe weather events. In the past, a storm might have caused only minor disruptions. Today, that same storm can escalate into a multi-hazard disaster, bringing flooding, wind damage, and hail all at once. These extreme events aren't just isolated incidents, they're part of a clear and growing trend, driven by human-caused climate change, that's reshaping the risks we face. Recognizing this connection is essential. It helps us plan smarter, build stronger infrastructure, and protect our communities from the storms of tomorrow. This is the new normal for Europe and much of the world, and understanding it is the first step toward adapting and staying safe in a changing climate. Western and Central Europe, especially the UK, Ireland, France, Germany, and Poland, face days of relentless heavy rain. Some areas could see over 100 millimeters in just a few days, overwhelming soil and drainage systems. Expect widespread river and flash flooding, turning streets into rivers and making travel dangerous. Strong westerly winds will batter Atlantic coasts, whipping up rough seas and causing coastal flooding and erosion. Transportation will be heavily disrupted. Expect delays and cancellations for flights, ferries, and road travel. The main danger being caught in floodwaters. Never drive or walk through flooded roads. Flood defenses and emergency services will be pushed to their limits. Farmers face ruined crops and waterlogged fields, compounding the disruption. This phase is all about water. Be prepared for a very wet, disruptive week. Stay alert and heed local warnings. In southern Europe, Italy, the Balkans, Greece, and the Caucasus, the threat shifts to severe thunderstorms from November 9th to 12th. Warm, unstable Mediterranean air collides with Atlantic moisture, triggering explosive storms. The biggest concern: exceptionally large hail, potentially the size of tennis balls, capable of shattering windows and damaging crops. Agriculture is especially vulnerable. Vineyards and orchards could lose entire seasons in minutes. Insurance claims for property and crop damage are expected to soar. This level of hail is becoming more common as the climate warms. The Caucasus will see similar threats as storms interact with warm Caspian air. Damaging winds and flash flooding add to the danger. Stay ready to take shelter and monitor weather alerts closely. This is a new level of severe weather for the region. From November 14th to 18th, the storm's character changes as it meets cold Arctic air in eastern Europe and western Russia. Rain turns rapidly to heavy wet snow, likely the first major snowstorm of the season. Expect significant snow accumulations, downed trees, and power lines, and widespread power outages. Travel will become treacherous or impossible, with blizzard conditions in some areas. Cities like Moscow could see an early, intense start to winter. The risk of flash freezes, wet roads icing over before snow accumulates, adds to the hazard. Energy infrastructure will be strained as heating demand spikes during outages. Communities may be isolated, and emergency services stretched thin. This rapid shift from flood to blizzard highlights the storm's incredible diversity of threats. The Caucasus faces a double hit first: severe thunderstorms and hail from November 9th to 11th, then a rapid switch to snow as cold air arrives. Agriculture and rural infrastructure are at high risk from hail and flash floods. Residents must stay alert for sudden, violent storms and be ready to seek shelter. As the weather turns, mountain areas will see heavy snow, increasing avalanche risk and cutting off remote villages. Emergency responders will pivot quickly from storm damage to winter rescue. The region's resources will be stretched by this back-to-back assault. It's a vivid example of how one event can bring multiple, compounding hazards. Preparation and flexibility are key. This storm arrives just after a major European conference on early warning systems. Now, those systems face a real-world test. National weather services are working non-stop to issue timely alerts for floods, storms, and snow. The challenge, not just forecasting, but communicating risk clearly to the public and authorities. Emergency plans are being activated. Flood defenses, snowplows, shelters, and cross-agency coordination. The complexity of this event will test every link in the emergency response chain. The next 10 days will reveal strengths and weaknesses in our preparedness. Millions depend on these warnings and plans. As extreme weather becomes more common, investment in early warning is more critical than ever. This isn't just a weather story, it's a climate story, showing how a warming world is rewriting the rules. Extreme events like this are becoming more frequent, intense, and widespread. Understanding these patterns is essential for survival and resilience. Storms fueled by record-warm oceans are symptoms of a larger problem. We must adapt, build resilient infrastructure, develop smarter agriculture, and improve emergency response. Our interconnected world is fragile. One storm can disrupt supply chains and threaten lives continent-wide. This event is a call to action. Be aware, be prepared, and address the root causes of climate change. Pay attention to warnings, protect your family, and help your community. The message is clear. Adapting to our new weather reality is one of our greatest challenges. Stay safe and stay informed.